Tonight we are dining at Giovanni's table on board Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas. If you don't know, we do dining reviews every single Monday, so be sure to check those out. If you don't know, there are actually themed nights throughout your cruise, and it worked out perfectly that formal night was tonight because Giovanni's is a more upscale restaurant, so we got to just a little more fancy tonight, and we are excited to dine on some Italian food tonight. So the menu looks amazing. I'm already eyeing up the meat plank. But this restaurant is beautiful. It's got the dark wood tables and accents, and there's a nice wine wall back behind me, and I am obsessed with the views of the ocean. Anytime I can eat and I'm right next to a window and I can see out and see the water, I'm all set. So we have some bread on the way. We'll probably order some wine or cocktails or something, and we're ready to dig in.
We've got some bread, which is fantastic. And what I really like is to kind of get away from the butter, right? So here we've got olive oil, balsamic, and then a Parmesan cheese that they sprinkle over top of that. Really nice. But for tonight, because we have the drink package, we've got some cocktails. And I've brought my special metal straw. You know, because I'm trying to be environmentally friendly. And I went with a mojito, because you guys know I don't really like wine, but...
So like Josh said, we do have the drink package, and whenever you dine at any of the restaurants, you can get drinks included with your drink package as well. But I forgot to mention that Giovanni's is actually not included with your cruise. So you do have to pay extra per person, and for our sailing, it is $39 per person. So we are paying extra for that. We knew that coming into this. You can make reservations ahead of time. You can book the dining package ahead of time so that you can eat in all of these restaurants and not have to worry about it once you're on the ship. But we booked this just a couple weeks ago and there were still reservations. So if you do want to dine at these places, always just be checking. Sometimes you can even get reservations while you're still on board. Like we were able to get a Zumi last night. So I am starting off with some Moscato. This is a sweet white wine, and depending on which brand of Moscato you have, sometimes it can be much sweeter than others. This is actually perfect. It's a little bit dry, which I like because I'm about to have dinner and not dessert, so that worked out nicely. But with the bread, we do have 3 different types. We have like a baguette, there's an olive bread, and then there's also breadsticks. Really nice Italian breads. We got the little dip here with olive oil and balsamic. Starting off so nicely. For our appetizer tonight, we had the Giovanni's Italian cheese and cured meat plank. So this came with 3 different types of meat and 3 different types of cheeses. It also had some pickled vegetables on the side as well. As far as meat planks go, this was pretty good. I do like some cured meats, so I did eat those up. There was like salami. It was almost like it wasn't prosciutto because it wasn't super thin. It was almost like a ham. And then there was like a darker meat on there as well. And then there were 3 cheeses on there as well. There was a blue cheese, a Parmesan, and a brie. We kept our bread on the table as well, and it paired really nicely with the crispy breadsticks that were on there. Kind of broke those up and ate it with the cheese and with the meats. I did not actually eat the pickled vegetables because I don't really like pickled vegetables, but the rest of it was very good.
The other appetizer that we had is the pancetta. This is slow cooked pork belly and arugula with a basil salad. So this was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And what I love about pork belly is that when it's cooked properly and it's rendered just right, the fat of that pork belly just melts in your mouth. And then you get that almost that bacon, savory texture and flavor with the actual meat portion on there. So really good. I'm glad that we got it. A nice kind of appetizer to share, so to speak. And then going back to the meat and cheese tray that Taylor got, I was a little bit disappointed. I would have liked to have seen the meats be more of like a specialty cut rather than they seem more of like a sandwich meats cut. And when you see the video, you'll know what I mean. Like, it's not what I would have expected. I would have expected something from like Jamie's on the parmesan. I'll throw
Make sure you check out that dining room.
Yeah, I'll throw some clips in from that. Speaking of, we miss Chris and Sarah, so they were on that cruise with us. Anyways, but at the pickled vegetables were pretty good. They were very vinegary and pickled, but I like that. That for me is very good. Might not be as strong of a flavoring for you. I also would have liked to have seen maybe instead of Parmesan, maybe 1 or 2 slices of cheddar. So brie, blue, Parmesan, that's what was on there. I would have liked to see the cheddar. That for me is like a real good cheese trait. But I mean, you know, we're paying a price that includes everything, right? So $40 per person. So far, I think that's pretty good.
For entrees tonight, we actually decided to do a half portion of pasta and then an actual entree. So I decided to get the risotto with seafood. This was arborio rice, shrimp, scallops, crab meat, mascarpone, and grape tomatoes. It was nice and creamy, a little bit cheesy. The risotto was prepared perfectly. You could definitely taste the seafood in there, so if you don't like seafood, obviously this was not the dish to get. But if you do like seafood like me, this was delicious. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then for my entree, I had the filet mignon. This was a very large filet. I got it cooked medium rare, and it was perfect. And it was served over pureed potatoes and then had broccolini on the side. They also bring wine sauce if you would like it, so they poured some wine sauce over top. And like I said, this filet was cooked perfectly. It was absolutely delicious, but it was humongous. I just could not finish the whole entire thing. I did my best. But overall, very good meal. I really enjoyed the appetizers and the entree and the pasta. And then we do still have some dessert coming as well.
For my entree tonight, I went with the osso buco. And I went with the gnocchi and gorgonzola. And fantastic options. If you're looking for a pasta, between the risotto and the gnocchi, definitely go with the gnocchi. Absolutely amazing, tender, and then the gorgonzola cheese is just, it's just so, it's so good. So with the osso buco, I think the thing about an osso buco, obviously it's fall apart, tender, so good. I felt like it might have been a little bit dry, but the best part about that is the bone marrow that they serve, that gets served with that. So really fantastic, melts in your mouth, so savory, really good. The only thing I would change probably is maybe the polenta and the vegetables. But other than that, I mean, fantastic dish, nice and tender, and I mean, the bone marrow, it is so good.
For my dessert tonight, I had the tiramisu. This was very good. It was nice layers of the ladyfingers, so in espresso liqueur, there was mascarpone in there. Overall, just really good flavor. I liked that there was like a lot of the mascarpone. That's like probably one of my favorite parts of this, and I felt like it was not overwhelming with the coffee liqueur. We also, for our very first time ever, tried some grappa, and
I'm just gonna put the video on.
No.
Alright guys, this is Taylor's first time trying grappa.
Okay, but listen, I already had a sip and I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna I just need to
You just defeated the purpose of my video, which said that this was your first time trying grappa.
Do it again?
Nope, just try it now.
I can't even take like a sip. They need a smaller glass than this. Don't take a swig. Just let it touch your lips.
My dessert tonight, I had the chocolate torta. I was a little iffy about this, just because I'm not somebody who really enjoys desserts with more of like a whipped or airy feel to them. So, but this was actually really good. Nice and chocolatey. It wasn't overbearing, wasn't super rich. I think what's kind of saved me here with this dessert was that on the very bottom of it, actually almost had like a cake layer, the torte part, and it was really good. So I enjoyed it, and it was a good way to end the meal. As you can see, Taylor didn't drink hers, but I finished mine, so it's empty. See? So we just finished eating inside at Giovanni's table here on Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas.
Yes.
For our dining, and it was pretty good.
It was very good. I really enjoyed there were many options, but I really enjoyed what we tried, the appetizers, the pastas. I think my favorite thing that I had the whole night was probably the gnocchi, the gorgonzola and spinach gnocchi.
So good.
It was amazing. It was pretty much melt in your mouth. I love the flavor of gorgonzola cheese because it doesn't really need much else.
Right.
We did have him put some of the Parmesan and
black pepper
on it, but it honestly didn't even need it because it was just so good on its own. But my filet was cooked perfectly. There was a good dessert selection. Just everything. So good.
Yeah, it was a really good meal. Again, we purchased this, I believe, the day that we got on the ship, so it would have been yesterday, at about $40 per person.
Yes.
Which ended up being it ended up being like $94. They added gratuity in there.
Yes.
Which I'm guessing is about 10%, 15%.
Yeah, I think it was $14 or something.
Something around in there, so whatever that math is. I don't know. But, so just keep that in mind.
Yes.
But again, I think that's a pretty decent meal to splurge on if you're here on the ship.
And, I know that everything is included when you pay for your cruise except for some of the other restaurants. But if you think about going out to eat dinner somewhere and getting filet itself is normally $40 or more.
Usually.
So,
yeah.
Usually, it definitely is. Especially the piece that I had, it was huge. So, I mean, I think you're
Osobuco.
Definitely gonna get your money's worth.
Osobuco is probably at least a $30 dish, so appetizer and a dessert plus.
At least,
so, yeah, it's good.
But yeah, let us know if you have ever tried Giovanni's table on a Royal Caribbean ship, or if you plan on trying it on your next sailing.